Hello my friends, we have some of the interesting news coming right away from the front lines. If Deep State tells us about the Ukrainian territorial gains, it means that those are definitely happening, because Deep State is kind of conservative with those updates. Well, let's zoom into the Kharkiv region, Kupiansk direction, where you might see the Ukrainian counteroffensive operation is in action. Ukraine has advanced towards Zaporizhzhia and Dvorizhzhia. Yes, kind of the big village, plus Ukraine reached this road, which was used for the Russian supplies. Nice! Plus Ukraine is getting close to this war obstacle Oskil River, so for Russians to operate in Kupiansk, first of all, they need to secure Dvorizhzhia village to provide supplies, and also this very important road. But they cannot do it any longer. Russia has limited resources, and they use those mostly in the eastern Ukraine, operating in Pokrovsk direction, Konstantinivka, and also advancing towards Kramatorsk and Slavyansk. So saying about this wider picture, oh my god, it's the wrong color. Let's take the black one. So Ukraine cuts this very important road and jams the Russian army in this very tiny bottleneck between the river and Ukrainian positions, basically. Yeah, the river goes like that. So this territory, which is between Zaporizhzhia, Dvorizhzhia and Ukrainian positions in Holubivka, well, if there is the presence of the Russian infantry, they are in a very terrible state. They're basically trapped without supplies. They'll have to cross the river to retreat, so I expect new Ukrainian territorial gains like that to be very soon, maybe in the coming weeks, because Russia simply cannot sustain the presence in the western bank of the Oskil River in this northern part. But still Russia tries to go to Kupiansk, and first of all to Kupiansk-Vuzlavy. There are multiple of the attack attempts, small infiltration groups, but all of those attacks, they've been cancelled by Ukrainian defenders so far. But of course the gray zone has expanded in this area. And about Kupiansk, officially, according to Russian military command, according to Putin himself, Kupiansk is still being occupied by the Russian soldiers since the last year. Putin even stated, you see what happened to Kupiansk? It will happen to every of Ukrainian cities if Ukraine wouldn't surrender Donbass or something. We'll reach the goal of the special military operation, but you see what happened to Kupiansk? It was a great operation the last year also of Ukrainian defenders who liberated this settlement. Fantastic job, and moreover, now supply lines for Russians have been just cut. And yeah, not just Deep State tells about it, but also Majakovsk 73 analyst. This is his interactive map. I always check it out every day. I recommend you guys to follow the guy. He is, I guess, from Spain, or he is Spanish speaker. You see, Jake Bro is following him, as well as other Aussians. I like his map the most, and I put, of course, the link for his Twitter in the video description, where you may find his link tree for different maps, including the map of Ukraine. What's interesting that you may cross-check the information. Is it on YouTube? Yeah, I'm so sorry for the loud music. Oh, those are our friends from Colombia. Those are not not Ukrainians. Yeah, I know that there are lots of the Colombians operating in Kharkiv group of Ukraine, Kharkiv Corps, and they are telling about this offensive done by basically mercenaries. Yeah, those are our soldiers. They've been coordinated. It's kind of loud here. I mean, the music, it's better to keep it off. Yeah, some of the images I cannot share for you right here. Well, they went there. It was the infantry attack operation. The Russian positions also were kaboomed with the help of the drones, and infantry cleared the rest. Fantastic. So 7.5 square kilometers were liberated, and Ukraine is very close to the neighboring village, which is kind of big. You see, it is on the both shores of the river, and I wonder if the bridge is still out there. Yeah, the village of Dvorizhzhia, and they say it will continue. So it's the next task for Kharkiv group to advance towards Dvorizhzhia, and I would say they have quite high chances to go there. But of course it could be risky for mercenaries and for Ukrainians operating there in Kharkiv group, and not only because Russians have aviation gliding bombs, they have drones, but Ukraine has an advantage, I would say, in this sector. So Kupiansk, Lyman, Zaporizhzhia direction, Dnipropetrovsk, those are the places where Ukraine goes on counterattacks quite successfully. And soon we'll have a new update Yeah, probably. We'll see the direction. I'm not gonna spoil the news for you, but in the coming week, maybe maximum 2 weeks, there will be the new update, and little by little we receive some of the good news as you see over here. Guys, it's our usual reminder, don't forget to smash your huge like to this video right now while you're watching it. Do it! Just do it, and it will help this channel a lot. And also subscribe to the channel. My friends, you're just amazing, you're awesome, you're the best. And let's continue with the video. And here we have the map with attacks from the Majakovsk 7-3. So it looks like the territorial gains are just here and there, but in this specific direction, as I told you, Ukraine jams the Russian army between the river and own positions, cutting all of the supplies for the entire Russian army group in vast territory. So Ukraine has the chance to gain those as well, advancing forward, reaching the river, and basically annihilating any sort of the opportunity for Russia to take or supply their group in Kupiansk once again. As you might see, Russians have the infiltration attack attempts towards the northern part of Kupiansk via Holubivka. They're crossing the river here, but all of those attacks finish kind of badly for Russian soldiers. So Russians, with the group they have in this area, they cannot retake Kupiansk. But again, we are not speaking about the strategical advantage of the Ukrainian army. Here it's just the tactical success. If Ukraine deoccupies at least the part of Dvorichna village and all of those territories to the south, reaching the river, it would be a great success. Ukraine has also no resources to continue the counteroffensive operation, a large one, like it was the Kharkiv offensive or Kherson in 2022. Here we are speaking just about the tactical things of how to prevent Russian attacks in the future. Ukraine just takes the better ground wherever it's possible. And here in Kupiansk, Russia lost the initiative. They moved the main resources to different parts of the front lines. That's why Ukraine has an advantage, which could be temporary, depends on where Russia would move their main forces. For example, in a couple of years, if they reach their goal, occupying the entire Iron Belt, where is this Iron Belt? Over here, maybe 2-3 years, they might offense in Kharkiv region, for example. But I would say that Kharkiv is not the main priority for the Russian military command from what I see. And this is the map from Clement Molin. He is a great analyst. Also, I recommend to subscribe for his Twitter to receive updates, and he tells and confirms about the Colombian soldiers of Ukraine's 23rd Assault Regiment that liberated some of important forests on tactical height north of Kupiansk. This is an isolated action from Kharkiv Corps at the edge of Dvorichna in order to relieve western Kupiansk from part of the infiltrations. Yes, basically cutting Russian logistics, Russian supplies with this attack, and by taking the higher ground, Ukraine also opens new opportunities for the further assault operations. So remember, the situation in Kupiansk is very similar to one the last year, with most of the city being a gray zone. So Clement says it's the gray zone in the city with some of the presence sometimes of the Russian infantry. And the aim, he says, is to secure the banks of Oskil River at all the way to Kupiansk. Yes, in order to avoid further exploitation. Yeah, since Russians are sending their forces in this way, infiltrating those forests, this area, and later on they advance to Kupiansk. And he refers to Playfra, one more analyst, where we have one more confirmation. So multiple of the confirmations from lots of the analysts. And I'm waiting also the confirmation from the Russian side, because we have geolocation with the presence of the Colombian soldiers. This is very interesting. Wow, an interesting interactive map was published by Russians. This is the southern part of Zaporizhzhia, you see, and they confirmed the Ukrainian successful counteroffensive operation with the help of the GUR forces. This operation has been started the last winter and extended during the springtime. Ukraine used the bad weather condition, for example, operating with infantry fighting vehicles and sometimes even tanks. So Stepnogorsk is being mainly liberated by Ukraine, and Ukraine continue to push Russian army away. And the presence of the Ukrainian forces is spotted even in Plavny. So yeah, even though Russia put this kind of the big reddish gray zone here, but the presence of the Ukrainian army, Ukrainian armed forces, was spotted first of all in this crossroad, and definitely they put it under Ukrainian control, I guess. And also in Plavny. There were a few of the Ukrainian soldiers fighting against the Russian infantry, also FPV drones. They're operating elsewhere in Kamensk, Stepove. Well, Russians show that they send some of the reinforcements here, but they don't have this ability to hold the line any longer for a long time, yeah? So Ukraine, from the recent news, is counterattacking towards Stepova. The fight is ongoing there. And Russians themselves, so the same guy, Rybar, confirms kind of the difficult situation for the Russian troops in Stepova. And maybe in the future, Ukraine will have the opportunity to liberate Kamensk. Again, we are speaking about the tactical success of Ukraine. So the main thing is to get Kamensk under control till the river, for the natural obstacle to become a new line, like the front line, right? If we are speaking about the front lines in 2026, basically there's the huge kill zone, gray zone. But anyways, for Russians to cross the river over here, it's very difficult under the drone fire. So you may call it a huge trench, especially south from Kamensk. And Russians went to Kamensk from, I think, fifth attack attempt, something like that. They tried to move, they've been annihilated. So Russia has tremendous losses here in the southern part of Zaporizhzhia front lines. All right, now let's move to Majakovsk, where Ukraine started the counteroffensive from Orikhiv towards Novodanilovka. And also in Majakovsk itself, I'm gonna move my image over here for us to see. And Russian forces had to retreat as well. Later on, they counterattacked, but later, again, they were pushed back. Russians, show it. You are not controlling this territory. Yeah, now Russians are trying to move towards Orikhiv. There is the counterattack. They were spotted in the outskirts of Orikhiv, but we have the confirmation again from the drone cameras that this Russian infiltration failed. However, there is the presence definitely of Russian forces in Novodanilovka. So yeah, I listened to what they say, and it all depends, as Russians tell, on their own supplies. And the supplies are not that good for Russians because Ukraine increased middle strikes. They also complain that Ukraine operates quite well with the drone forces here. Ukraine sent some of their reinforcements and electronic warfare, so they don't know whether this attack attempt or multiple of the infiltration attacks from Novodanilovka might help them to get to Orikhiv and Majakovsk under control. But in reality, even though they show it as some of the red zone, it's the gray. So it's pink, I guess, what they show. This is the line, and I would say it fits reality, like this main line. They're not keeping control of Majakovsk. Just sometimes small infiltration groups, they go to the local Orikhiv prison in Majakovsk and also towards Orikhiv. But if we check, for example, Maiko 73 map and check out what Ukrainian drones are doing there, they're just annihilating those Russian soldiers who decided somehow to go on the railways to reach Orikhiv, you know. It's the most stupid variant for them to advance. They have like 2 of the 3 lines on the sides, they have the trench, but they've decided to take railways. Oh my god. Well, also Russians are telling about the Ukrainian success in Lyman direction, and here they confirmed the Ukrainian landing operation on 4 of the infantry fighting vehicles towards Nova village. So this attack happened between Katerinovka and Nova is already partially or fully almost in a gray zone. This is the zoomed in image. Ukraine just landed the infantry into those like ruined buildings, some of the basements, and Ukraine keeps the presence there. I hope that our guys will have some of the rotations and reinforcements after all. Also in Lyman itself, there is the confirmation of the presence of the Ukrainian army with the Ukrainian flag, which was put here, so this direction. But before, those districts were infiltrated by the Russian forces, so Ukraine has a big advantage, I would say, in Lyman, and there is the chance again for the Russian forces to be jammed by Ukrainian army if attacks towards Novosilovka and Shidrigilova continue. Plus, there is one more attempt of Ukraine to bypass Stavki and probably go to Kolodzy or to Stavki itself from the eastern side. We'll see how it goes, so Ukraine pushes Russia really damn hard in Lyman. And the Russians themselves are telling, I'm taking those maps from the Russian military channels and they do not look optimistic for them. But there are some of the directions, as I mentioned you, where Russia has a huge advantage over Ukraine, like for example in Konstantinovka, Drushkivka, Slavyansk, Kramatorsk, and also near Hulaypole. Yeah, probably there is no like the latest update of the Majakovsk map. I think he will show it We have from the latest that Russia hit one of the Ukrainian tanks, but I guess I already showed you it in one of my previous updates. But there's a terrible thing happened in this direction. A Russian sabotage group advanced pretty much far away. They bypassed Ukrainian defense, Ukrainian positions, they were not spotted, and they have reached the Ukrainian supply positions, a small company of the Ukrainian soldiers, and of course they were not waiting for Russians to attack them that far away. And there are some of the images that I cannot show you it. We have the proofs that several of the Ukrainian soldiers were unalived by the Russian sabotage group, and sabotage group made it out, it seems like. Now Ukrainian army is searching for it, so it happened somewhere in this direction. Yeah, it looks like the information is legit. It came from Ukrainian channels with actual pictures and videos from the place. So Russians managed to go with a small infiltration attack towards Drushkivka. And judging on those photos and videos, this is not the ordinary Russian infiltration group. Those are really capable soldiers and really brutal, barbarian, because they also used knives. So Russia has this capable army, of course, which is kind of small, and usual Russian army, which they send with the flag operations. Here, it's not the flag operation for sure. Instead, it's the real action. They really went there, unalived Ukrainian soldiers, and vanished. If Ukraine did this, I would say, wow, what a brilliant operation. Well, not that barbarian, I mean, with the knives. I wonder if they used knives after all or before, it's hard to tell. But of course, the photos and videos, they're horrific from the place. So I'm telling you, guys, the things as they are. So Ukraine has some of the spots where Ukraine is successful, but the major assault operation of the Russian army is still happening, and Russia has way more resources, and they take, for now, more ground compared to Ukraine. This is the fact. And you see, it's not even Alexivka, Drushkivka where Russians went. They went to Drushkivka, somewhere here. The geolocation, well, it's not possible to ident on those videos, but the Ukrainian volunteers who operate there, they confirmed this case from the Russian side. So somehow they went there. It also tells that the defense line of Ukraine, of this iron belt, it's not that solid, and still some of the infantry, they might go through. You know, guys, at first I thought it's just the PSYOP operation from the Russian side, that they cannot go that far with the sabotage group, but later on I saw the evidence, I mean actual Ukrainian soldiers. The video was not blurred, the faces there, and definitely they were ambushed. Ambushed in Drushkivka, which is now being confirmed. Guys, in this video I wanted to say about the Frontline updates, but bear with me for more video updates today because we have lots of the news coming. And guys, please support my job on Patreon if you can, of course. The link for it is in the video description right below, or join membership of YouTube channel by pressing button join. Thank you so much for it. My friends, don't forget to press also like to this video and subscribe to the channel. We are on the way to reach some number of subscribers pretty much soon. And I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.